$100. The base game, the standard edition. There has been a new analyst report mentioning GTA 6 costing $100, and it's got a lot of people a bit worried. So in today's video, I want to go over where this is coming from, how realistic this could actually be, and why pretty much every other gaming publisher is waiting for Rockstar and Take-Two to make the decision on how much their game is going to cost. So we're going to be taking a look at a few articles. This is the one that I think a lot of people saw and got really worried about. GTA 6 costing as much as $100 could help the video game industry rebound in 2025, Analyst says. And then right underneath it, if Take-Two raises their prices to $80 or more, other publishers could apparently follow suit. Now, I'll go over where specifically this is coming from, but this article just gives an explanation. It's coming from this veteran investment analyst and researcher. He has a 219-page report about the state of video gaming in 2025. And this is the beginning of the report. I'll sort of go back and forth between the articles and this. I'll also leave a link to this in the description if you want to take a look at it. Because if you are a nerd about all this stuff, it is kind of interesting to see like actual numbers, actual facts. The big point though from this giant report is that lately, over the last few years, gaming has sort of reached a plateau. It's not really growing as much as the industry would want it. They show here from 2011 to 2021, the gaming industry grew tremendously. But ever since 2021, sort of after COVID, the game industry sort of just leveled off. And that's what this picture sort of shows. Instead, spend fell by 3.5% in 2022, then barely grew in 2023 and 2024. And I just want to say, at the end of the day, gaming and all these companies, all these big companies at least, all they care about is money. And if their industry isn't growing, that is not good for them. They all want to make more money. They all want to have profits and everything keep going up. So that is the basis of the $100 GTA 6 pricing, which we'll obviously get into here in a minute. Like I said, I'm not going to go too in depth in this report because again, it's like 200 something pages, but it does go into some pretty interesting stuff. Like it talks about how all of these companies are laying off people, canceling projects, again, because the gaming industry sort of leveled off. It's not growing. Talks about other studios sort of having to shut down and close because they don't have the money to fund their games anymore. And it even talks about why this is happening, which again, I'm not going to talk about, but if you want to read, link in the description, go for it. Has all these sort of things they talk about. It also talks about why consoles aren't growing as much as they used to. I mean, I think right here, it sort of specifies that the reason the Gen 8 consoles, like the new consoles, have had growth is because of Nintendo, like the Switch and I guess maybe the Switch 2 they're projecting. Like Xbox and PlayStation sales, they've also kind of plateaued. Actually, this specific slide says that Gen 9, PlayStation and Xbox sales are both down versus Gen 8 after 49 months. So consoles are actually falling off a bit compared to the last generation. And this right here, I do hope makes Rockstar reconsider their stance on releasing GTA 6 only for consoles and not PC at launch. PC is like the only bright spot in the gaming industry, or one of the few bright spots in the gaming industry as far as growth. There's a lot more growth on PC recently compared to console. You can actually see in the graph, it's almost double the amount compared to consoles, including the Switch, that people have spent on PC gaming in 2024. And like I said at the beginning, all these companies care about money. So I wonder if Rockstar and Take-Two specifically are seeing these numbers and realize that PC is actually bigger than console. So there's no reason to delay the game on PC and miss out on a huge chunk of money. Like obviously I know back GTA 5 and even RDR2, there was the double dip, the triple dip, but I would be curious to know like internally if their numbers maybe say otherwise, that they might make more actually releasing this game on all platforms at launch versus the double dip. But we're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom, and then this is the section where it talks about GTA 6's pricing, how player playtime and player spend might return to growth. And these are the categories the potential growth engines that this particular, veteran analyst in the industry has come up with. And you can see GTA 6 pricing is the last one. So before we move any further, to simplify what's happening here, what this veteran analyst in the gaming space is saying, gaming growth has slowed over the last few years, and one of the ways that they could boost those numbers back up is by hoping GTA 6 launches at a price that is at either $80 to $100. Because of course, right now, all games, pretty much all AAA games, are $70. And obviously they moved that a few years ago from 60 to 70. Well, a lot of companies, a lot of other publishers are hoping that Take-Two will price GTA 6 higher than 70 so they could follow suit and price their games higher as well, which in turn would, theoretically make them more money. And this guy even says no player hopes for such a hike. Obviously, I don't think any person wants to say, I would rather GTA 6 cost $100 versus 70. But like he says, budgets for games nowadays are at all-time highs. I mean, I think GTA 6 is rumored to be like a $2 billion budget or something like that. And he also mentions that prices have never been lower in real terms, like in terms of inflation and all that, than they are today. And I just wanted to demonstrate that $60 back in 2009, like if you bought Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009 for $60, due to inflation, today it is about $88, which isn't that far off from 100. So technically, the gaming industry has been one of the few places where prices have not gone up due to inflation. Now, I want to go back to some of these articles because this isn't the first time we've heard about this or seen this. Back in August of last year, a Baldur's Gate 3 developer, he put out a tweet sort of implying that they're all in the gaming industry waiting for Rockstar to price their game above the standard $70. This was his tweet. Almost all games should cost more at a base level because of the cost of making them. Inflation, for one. But I don't think we'll get there with DLC promises so much as quality and communication. Everyone, in the gaming industry is just waiting for GTA 6 to do it. And here was another article I found. Obviously, this one is from over a year ago, December 2023. But PlayStation reportedly planning on selling games in parts for $50 each. Overall prices would be $80 to $100. And this was coming after there was a big leak in the Insomniac games in that studio. There was an internal presentation that revealed that Sony is planning, or they were planning on increasing game prices from $70 to $80 to $100. Now, we haven't seen that just yet, but this isn't just some random analyst saying, oh, games are going to be $100 now. Like, they're talking about this. The game companies are talking about this internally. They all want this to happen. And then the last article we'll look at, Take-Two was actually one of the first publishers to put that $70 price tag on their games. Obviously, every other publisher and developer has followed suit. Most AAA games are $70 now, but Take-Two was one of the first to do so. Now, the obvious thing here with this is that all these other companies are waiting for GTA 6 to up their price, or up its price to $100, because they know that if they were the first ones to do so, there would be an insane outrage. Could you imagine if Call of Duty became $100 every year? And if it was the first game to do so? Yeah, I guess people would probably still buy it because it's Call of Duty, but there would be so much outrage. GTA 6, on the other hand, would probably be the only game where people would be like, you know what, $100 for GTA 6? All right, that makes sense. Like, Rockstar spent 8 years, whatever it's been, making this game. If it's even half as good as RDR2, and it'll probably be even better than RDR2, but even if it was half as good as RDR2, that's worth $100 to most people. But most other games are not worth $100 to a lot of people, especially if it was something like Call of Duty where you pay $70, and then you're having to pay even more in the microtransactions, the battle passes, whatever else they have in that game. Could you imagine if you had all of that in a $100 game? That would be insane. Like I said, it looks like a lot of these companies, they want to do just that. And they're hoping GTA 6 does this first so they can all follow suit. Now, of course, the big question is, will GTA 6 do this? And in my mind, GTA 6 and Take-Two, they don't need to do that. So it's going to be an interesting, next couple of, years or so to see what happens in the gaming industry, because GTA 6, it'll make billions of dollars at whatever price it comes out at. And in my mind, at least, I like Take-Two and Rockstar, they probably don't want to increase the price to $100 because that might mean there's less people playing the online portion, which is where they make even more money through the shark cards and stuff. So are they willing to risk that extra online money for a $30 increase for the standard edition of the game? Like, I don't think that makes sense for Take-Two. Now, what I've been mentioning over the last couple of months is they'll follow what a few games are doing nowadays, where they'll have the base game for $70, but then they'll also have a $100 edition of the game where you can play it like a few days early, 5 days early, 6 days, 7 days early, whatever the case may be. I know Starfield did that, and there was a lot of people that paid that extra $30, that extra money, just to play the game a few days early. In Starfield's case, it turned out to not be worth it, but obviously you didn't know that when you bought the $100 edition. I could totally see Rockstar and Take-Two doing this because they know every single person is going to buy the $100 edition and not the $70 edition, so they could play the game a few days early. But of course, that doesn't change anything in the gaming world because the base price would still be $70. So like I said, it's going to be for sure interesting to see what happens in the gaming world, because I don't think people are wanting to spend $100 on a game. Most games are not worth that. Like, you're telling me if GTA 6 becomes $100, that's some random Ubisoft slop game that they release every other year, that's the same cost as GTA 6? No. Call of Duty is the same as GTA 6? No. And of course, this doesn't even include the people in like Canada, Australia, other countries that they're already paying over $100 for games because of like the exchange rate. As far as regaining growth in the gaming industry, I don't know if $100 price tags is the way to do that. Obviously, look, I'm just some random guy on the internet, but I guess you guys in the comment section could let us know, like, would you be willing to pay $100 for games all of a sudden? I mean, the $60 to $70 amount, there was almost no resistance from, gamers. But I think going from 70 to 100, people might actually stop playing AAA titles. They might actually go and play indie titles and all these other smaller games. But like I said at the beginning, all these companies care about is money. And if they think that releasing the game at $100 will make them more money, they'll do it. It's as simple as that. So will GTA 6 cost $100 at the moment? Look, it's obviously all speculation. Nothing's been confirmed just yet, but there is a real possibility that it could. And like I said, we've shown analysts in the industry are saying games are wanting to go to $100. Baldur's Gate 3 developers, Sony developers, Insomniac developers, they all want games to go $100. I'm sure Activision and Microsoft, they all want games to go to $100 because all of that in their mind will make them more money. But will that actually be the case? Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. That is where we're going to end today's GTA 6 video. Again, let us know your thoughts in the comments on this topic. $100 for GTA 6. I think most people, like I said, would be willing to spend it for GTA 6 alone, but not other games. But let us know down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.